All right, welcome back. So today we are back on to the Mojave. We're gonna get it rebuilt today. So in this video, we're gonna basically use one tool and we're gonna repair this whole thing. So that's something you want to see repaired in 60 seconds. Stay tuned because we're gonna do that now. So like I said in the last video on the teardown, my Mojave's 3 years old. It's been through a lot. Before we started speed running this thing, it was one of my best bashers out there. A lot of fun. The tires, these Katars through Arma, definitely didn't work, and it caused significant damage to the RC. So trying to locate all the parts in a time where parts are limited, we're not getting stuff shipped from China on time. Even the wheels, my Cletus Traxxas wheels, they're on back order. I called to find out where they were at because they should have been here Friday, and apparently I got a message saying they're on back order. So now they're trying to locate somebody that has a set, and I got 4 on the way. So I don't know when they'll be here. They said Monday. I'll know a little bit more, but we're going to get these repaired as well. Let me grab the one tool I need to get this thing fixed, and let's start fixing it. There's your tool. That's what it's going to take to fix this RC. And what do I mean by that? Replace it. It's the easiest way. Starting all fresh, we're basically going to pull the electronics out. So here we go, brand new. I'm not going to use this body. We'll keep it as a backup body. I think this is the same body I already have in red. I looked for another yellow one. There wasn't one. So this is what was in stock, and this is what we got. So I know everybody in the comments going to say, you should have got the EXB roller. Me and EXBs don't get along. The EXB Creighton, when I first got that with those differentials that are supposed to be stronger, have proven that they're not stronger. You can shim them and do all kinds of stuff and make them, last. But I still feel the Ready to Run is a better RC over the EXB roller. Now, if there was an EXB roller in stock, I might have got it, but easier to get a Ready to Run. We'll replace the electronics somewhere else and do what we need to do. So, I forgot what it was like to have the side things working. And look, they're already starting to pull off. These things don't last, but everything's all new. I think I'm up to 5 bodies now, or 4 bodies. We're going to get this stuff thrown away, and we're going to start breaking down the stuff we don't need on this. And I'm probably going to pull off all the shocks on this, push them off to the side, because we're going to reuse the shocks that are on my other differentials that are already set up for speed running. If that's something you want to see, stay tuned. All right, so we're going to get to breaking this thing down. I'm going to throw all the hardware from this into these containers that I keep. These are the football studs. So any hardware I take off this, I'm going to throw into that. I've already got a couple that are set up like that. So all the other hardware from this RC is already in a container. So we're going to bust this thing down. Like I said, we need the shocks off of this to throw into here because I've set up these shocks. So we're going to keep the new shocks put off to the side. I'm going to set it up exactly the way I had it before. Now, you know me, I'm not going to stop the content. I'm not going to stop the speed run. I just don't give up. The 100 mile an hour will be my goal if you're persistent. So, and I'm a persistent type. I always have been. Whether it's having to replace the RC or having to make changes, I'm going to do what it takes. So, this thing could become a parts rig. There are certain parts off this I might box up and send to somebody else who needs them. But for now, I'm going to take off the stuff I do need. I do need the shocks off of the old one, and I need the electronics out of the old one. I don't really need the steering servo out of it. I believe the steering servo that's in this one is better, and this has got the aluminum steering servo arm on it. So, and there's no slop in this one. Everything's nice and tight. It's a brand new RC, and it's the limited edition red body, the new red body. So we're going to keep these tires, and I honestly believe that these tires that come on the Mojave are way better than the Katars. These tires, these stock tires, did 68 miles an hour, and they were 2 years old before one of them popped. As you see, I did blow up one of them. These are the limited edition silver ones, and they were 2 years old. The sidewall's nice and stiff. It literally handles the speed of the Mojave. But, you know, it was a gluing issue. The glue, you can see, came undone right in that spot where the silver is. It ripped right there and peeled back the tire. That's what happened to this. So I never re-glued these stock tires. We just kept ripping them. They're 2 years old, and they did several passes before they came apart. So literally the stock Mojave tires, if they would just take the stock Mojave tires and belt the inside of them, they'd be way better than the Katars, in my opinion, because the rubber's so thin and this is thick rubber. This is the way the tire should be built. Leave it alone. Throw steel belts on the inside, or steel belts. Steel belts would be better, but just belt the inside of the tire. Stop it from growing so much. Sidewall's nice and thick, rubber's nice and thick. Arma, just belt them, and then we'll be good. So I'm gonna break down, I'm gonna get all the tires off the new one. We are gonna save them because, like I said, I'll probably end up putting either the Mojave back together or we'll just part it out. I don't need two of them. I just need one good, and if we can get 100 miles, and this, my original one is 3 years old. I refreshed it after about 2 years of beating up on it. Look, the new one, they give you a heat sink but no fan. Give you the plug, no fan. What is that about, Arma? This is a $650 RC. So I'm probably going to end up selling the body off this one, and selling some of the parts off of this, like the electronics, that kind of stuff, to recoup some of the money. So I might just go that route. I know the body, without all the cage and stuff inside, those things are about $150, because like I said, I bought one. The red body is not cheap. Most expensive body out there. So we went ahead and got that off. I'm gonna go ahead and bust out the electronics, I guess would be the next thing I'll do. Let me get the old one set aside. So the next thing I want to do is take off this side. God, even the side stuff, mine was just all beat up. I beat the heck out of my Mojave. One of the toughest rigs that Arma's ever produced is this Mojave. And I beg anybody to challenge that. Nothing like taking a brand new rig and stripping it down. So what are we gonna do next? Next. Cross brace. Cross brace has got to come off. Next thing we're to do, take out the motor mount stuff. Think there's Loctite on it? Not 1 ounce of Loctite. That one had Loctite. That one did not. You can tell the difference in color. You can see the white on that one that has Loctite and this one that doesn't. And it is going into aluminum. Come on, Arma. Quality control. So far 1 out of the 3 has had Loctite. Now these 2 should be into plastic. And then we got to take off the ESC. Right. Drive shafts. Now we're going to pop open the receiver, get the receiver out of there. So it looks like this receiver box is revised. Which is cool because the old receiver box sucked. There wasn't enough room in the old box. Little changes that happen over time. Plenty of room in there now. All right. Now, I'm going to use my Futaba, so this is coming out of there. God, they used a big set screw this time. No 1.5 anymore. Radio. Electronics. Brand new, never run. Gotta pull the steering because we're not running the plastic here because our ESC is going on top. So we're all broke down and ready to break down the other one. It's funny, this has got EXB top plates on it. Yep, that's an EXB top plate. So are they just putting EXB parts on it now? On the ready to run? Interesting. So much smoother. Definitely got to change out the differential fluids. But it looks like they're running EXB parts on the ready to run. Next, we're going to break this down. All right, so went ahead and busted the electronics out of this one. I did struggle with this screw. I ended up having to cut a slice in it. And so I ended up just cutting a flathead slice into the nut. I did have to heat them up. These are the original Arma, when Arma was throwing a ton of Loctite on all their rigs during COVID. This happened to be one of them where it had way too much Loctite. I heated it up, but it still wasn't enough. It stripped out the hex. So I just took the Dremel, cut a slot in it, took the impact hammered it, and got it off. That way I can still use the mount setup. We're going to throw that into the new rig and go from there. So taking everything I've needed out of this. So this chassis is slightly bent, but it could be hammered straight in the back, which I think this is the back. It can be hammered straight and we can go ahead and use it as a basher. Just not good for speed running when it's all bent up. That's where I'm at. Next video, we're going to go ahead and start throwing all this electronic stuff into our new rig. And then from there, I'm going to do front and rear diffs and swap out the shocks. And it should be ready to rip. After I do all that, I do have to do something with the cleats. The cleatus wheels, I'm going to put washers on all the other ones that aren't ripped out. The ones that are ripped out, I'm going to go ahead and plate it. So stay tuned for that. And we'll get that on here. And I do have a new wheelie bar on order. I'm either going to have to make one temporarily until that comes in, or try to straighten the one I have out best I can to get it on here so that we can continue doing speed runs. But there we go. That's where I'm at. Got everything ready to go back in to this rig. So with all that said, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. The right call? It's kind of wore out. Think it's that time that, you know, we go ahead and start fresh and see if we can get that goal of 100 miles an hour. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys on the next video.